Hi everybody, it's Jeff. This is going to be part 6 of the Thunder Model Scammell tank transporter. In this video I'm going to try and get the frame together, start putting it together anyway. We'll see how things go. Be the next major step. Looking at the directions, they kind of jump around. They have you put the front of the frame together, then they have you put the transmission together and some other parts, then they come back and put the back of the frame together. So anyway, let's see how far we get here. Also, the mini art armored lorry is all done in flat clear. It's right there if you can see it. It's just about ready for weathering, so that video will be coming real soon, and then that one will be done. Okay, let's go down the bench and see what's going on. Be right back. Thanks, guys. Here's where we left off. Everything in green is been installed. I have not, except for the 833. I've left that off so far. I'm going to go ahead and leave things to where I can adjust the steering once I get a little farther along. Excuse me. Give me an option on if I want to set the wheels at a slight angle or keep them straight. Let's go ahead and look on down here. We've got a couple of sub-assemblies to put together before we continue on. See, this is beginning of step 2. We've got the suspension here, and then we're going to have to put the front end of the frame together. This is really an odd way of doing this. Usually you put the whole frame together and then you start adding parts, but they've got it to where they want you to put just the front of the frame together. Here's our suspension all finished and cleaned up. Everything is still movable on it. Yeah, eventually this will all get glued into place. I'm just deciding whether I want the wheel straight forward or at a slight angle. That worked out pretty well, I think. Okay, for this part, we've got the frame rails, and they had a lot of ejector pin marks through here. Most of them were raised, so I was able to just go in with a chisel and just bring them down. A few of them were low, and I filled them with super glue. Okay, so I've got both those done. They look pretty good. I might actually need to fill those a little bit more. They're still just a little, I sanded them a bit, but they're still kind of shiny, which tells me they're a little low. But we'll go ahead and continue on. What they want us to do next is put this front cross member in. These two little engine mounts or transmission mounts, whichever they are. This is a cross piece that needs to be glued together. In order to get all the detail in, they ended up making this in 2 parts. So that's a possibility for an error there. I'm not sure. I can't tell from the directions just exactly which way all this fits. So let me look ahead in the directions a little bit. You know, it's a possibility that this could be this way or this way. Let me take a quick look here and see if I can tell. Let's see here. Okay, here's some more details. So these 2 tabs are going to be toward the rear, and that is going to be straight up. It's going to be tricky getting that all in there correct. Okay, so let's get this part put together first. So this is going to be, let's see again. That will be, that looks like that's going to be correct the way I have it now. Okay. Let's go ahead and see about getting this glued. And there is, once you get it all together, it does form a little square, which will be to align it on the other parts. Take my time. Make sure I get a good job of it. Okay. Just give it a second here. Okay. I may need to sand that seam just a tiny little bit once it's together, but that looks pretty good. Okay, this has got a lot of bumps, protrusions, whatever on it, so, and it is curved. You'll notice there's a jog in it, so it's wider at the front and narrower at the back. I've got a jig I use to make sure everything is nice and square, but I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to use it this time. I'm probably just going to have to line it up with the grid on the cutting mat here. So let's see what we can do here. This will be F1, and I have, let's see, just trying to make sure I get these in the correct way. I've got to zoom in on this a little bit because it's not real obvious which way the pieces fit. Okay. Okay. So this is correct. The way I have it here is correct. Trying to make sure it's nice and square. Okay, and then this one, and it'll be the same. It needs to go this way. Okay. This one looks just a little bit crooked still. Okay. And then this will go here. We can get one side started. And it's keyed also. It'll go just like this. I know you guys can't see what I'm doing. Let's see, we can go ahead and glue this part on first. It might be easier. Here. And I'm not sure. There really is no. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, there are. There's some little tiny little pins. That'll line it up. Okay. Wow, those are tiny. Okay, just like that. Okay. I'm going to give that just a second to set up, and I'm going to sand that seam a little bit, and then I'll be back and we'll get this put together. Okay, I just want to make sure that it looks good before I go gluing it in, so I'll be right back. Thanks, guys. Excuse me, guys. I've been doing a little bit of planning and looking a little bit over here. The way they've got the instructions, which, you know, I've built a number of different vehicles and frames, and this just doesn't seem to make a lot of sense to me. But here's where we're at right now, and we've got these pieces to install, which put the front frame rail together. Then they want to put the front suspension in, and then they want us to add a whole bunch of detail to the front of the frame. Then put the transmission together, and then put all these pieces together for the winch and so forth, which I think this is also a rear cross member. And then put the engine in and the transmission in, and then glue the rear frame all together. Okay, then we're moving on to the winch and the differentials and so forth. What I'm going to do, I'm going to build up part 5. I'm going to build this box up with these sheaves or whatever they're called, the pulleys for the winch, so I can install that rear cross member here in part 7 at the same time that I do the front. That way I can get everything nice and square and flat and level. So yeah, slight deviation from the plans. It looks to me like it shouldn't be a problem putting the transmission in once the frame's all together. Right here you've got, it goes under on this side, but it's got a tab that goes in that it'll sit on this side. So that shouldn't be a problem. Fact is, I can put the transmission and the engine all together and put that in as a unit. And then the radiator stuff too. So let's go ahead and build up part 5, which would be all this stuff here. Okay. So let's see here. Switch this back over. Okay, here's the parts that we've already got ready. I haven't sanded that yet. It should be ready to go pretty quick. So let's see, we've got parts for the B, C, D, E, and F screws. Boy, they spread things out. So let's go to B. Okay, we've got B39. B15. B39, B15, C, C56, C31, okay, and then we're going to move on to the D sprue. D5, D6, D5, D6. Jeez. Okay, and then the E sprue. We got E5. And I'll have to get out that other E sprue for the opposite of that. So we got E5, E21, okay. So let me pull the other E, E5. I keep it in a, I thought it was all for the trailer, but it's for both, so pull it off here. Just leave it out for the time being. Okay, here's E5. F23 and F24. Oh boy. F23 right here. And F24. Okay. There's all the parts to make that up. And then, a little farther along, to put that together, I should have grabbed these earlier. F41, F42, and F15. F41. F42. F15. Okay, so those parts should get us everything we need to get the frames put both together. I'm going to shut the camera off and go ahead and get this stuff all cleaned up, and I'll be right back. Okay guys? Thanks. Okay guys, here's all the pieces that make up this box in step 5. Very, very tiny. We'll see what we can do about getting this together where you can kind of see what I'm doing. Okay. This is F23. We've got a bottom to put on it. Should be right here. Okay. I might have to glue this in 2 or 3 steps. Okay. Give that a second. Then we've got, let's see, it'd be this one. Nope, be this one. This is C56. It'll go in here, just like so. Okay. Double check something here. That all looks correct. Okay. And this will go, let's see, on this end it'll go this way. Okay. Push that down. Okay. Really tricky. Okay. I haven't, there goes Jordan. Not that yet. Okay. And then we got this one goes over here. Quite a detailed little parts. Okay. And this goes inside of here. Yep, let me put a little glue on it. Dead air. Sorry guys. Concentrating on what I'm doing. Okay. Micro adjustments there. Doesn't quite fit the way I want it to. There we go. Okay. Painting on it. We've got this, it'll go here. I've got a little flash, I see, right there. Still doesn't quite set the way I want it to. Okay. Then this goes together. Let's see here. Sure if I can do this. I don't want to get anything on my fingers. If I can help it. Okay, and this will go here, just like so. Oh, looks a little, yeah, should be all right. Okay, it's getting there. Then we have this. It all connects there. Looks like I have another little bit of flash. Okay. Well, didn't quite want to set in there. Let's see. Very close. I think just a touch of glue will help it slide in. There. Okay. Very tight fit. Okay. That's where that goes, and we've got this here. Uh-oh. There's supposed to be a slot for that, and it's not there. Okay, I think I'm going to just cut that off, and the glue will keep it where it needs to be. That's supposed to go down in a slot, and apparently the mold didn't come out right. Like so. Actually, just a tiny little bit more, maybe. Just like this. Okay. That should fit. I'll have to use the tweezers to get that in there. Okay. This is sitting too high. Too far back. Okay, let's get that roller in there and I'll get it all adjusted. Oh, okay. I made a slight error, but that's nothing we can't fix. I thought that was supposed to go in that slot down there. It goes on top. Yeah, not a problem. Yeah, that was just me reading the directions wrong, because that little tab I snipped off should still be there, but easy enough. Get it to where it all sits nice and straight. Not sitting too far back. Okay. Still doesn't. It doesn't sit quite like I think it should. There we go. That's where it goes. Okay, guys. That should do it. That's got that part all put together, even though I made a small error. It should be fine. Okay. I'm going to give this just a couple minutes to firm up real nice, and then we'll come back and we'll get the frame rails put together. Okay? Be right back, guys. Thank you. Okay, and of course the furnace is running again. Here is F42, which will go about here. This is F15 and F41, so I need to put those together real quick. Not a big deal at all. It's about like so. Okay, let me get rid of these glasses again. Okay, that'll go about here. So let's see if we can't get this kind of started, and then I'm going to have to do some adjustments as we go along. I'm looking at multiple pictures on the instructions here because we're kind of in different spots. So first off, we've got this, which has a keyed connection. Oops. And this goes down, and this goes down. That's a real snug fit there. I should say it goes down when the vehicle is on its wheels or on its tires. So I'm upside down already. Okay. It doesn't seem to want to quite drop into the should fit a little closer. Okay, then we've got this, which will go here in this square, like so. Get it to grab. Okay, and then on further back we have this, which has a half moon shape. Okay, and it'll go, I'm still working upside down here. Let me double check my drawings. Okay, so this will go like this. Okay. Where you assemble the front part, you do it upside down, and then from the front, or from the other end, you're doing it right side up. So it's confusing as to which way everything fits. Okay, and then we have this one. Okay. I want to make sure that'll go down like this. Let me double check here. We're doing it this way. Nope. This will go this way. Very tricky. And then this will go right in here. And it has a locating tab. Okay. Okay, now let's try and get all the rest of this stuff lined up, and then I'll come back and glue. And let's see here. Right here. We'll get it. Okay, that's got that. Just right there. This plastic is fairly soft. It takes a little bit to get the glue to grab. Okay. And then here. And this one. And this one. let it grab, and then I'll do some adjustments to get it nice and straight. Okay. As far as I can tell, let me double check my pictures. See, because we're working from this direction. That all looks good. And then up here we're working from the opposite direction. So we're looking at... Okay, that all looks good. I've got my little jig here, but I'm afraid it's going to be not a lot of use because of the there's so many pieces sticking out. I can tell it's flat. It sits nice and flat on there. As far as square goes, interesting. See, my mat here is very, the table's got a belly in it. So that's what you want to call it. It's lower in the center than it is on the edges. It's got so many little tabs and things sticking out, it's very difficult. So there's a tab here, and a tab here and here. Very, very difficult to check. I could check it against, let's see here. I've got a square corner here. Trying to check it. It could go this way just a tiny bit. The frame is definitely not just a square ladder. Okay, that's looking pretty good. Alright, I think I'm going to go for that. Okay guys, I'm going to have to let this set. And let's see, we could just test this. And I don't have all the pieces here, but this will go. See, that's leaning too far back. Needs to go farther forward. If I can roll it. Yes, I can. That's a good thing I checked. Okay, yeah, that's pretty good. it doesn't, just barely goes. I mean, it barely has any kind of a surface there to grab to pivot on. It may be something where I may need to do some scratch building, I'll put a brass pin or something in there eventually. It just barely grabs. Okay guys, I'll put some pictures up where we're at, but that's going to have to do it for today, I think. I want to make sure all this is nice and dry before I continue. Alright, you guys have a great day and we'll talk to you later. Okay, bye-bye.